Good afternoon. May I request everyone present here to keep their mobile in silent mode. Today we are here to celebrate the 74th Foundation Day of our association. You may be aware that our association started its journey on 14th August in 1950, and that was due to initiative of some eminent personalities like Professor B.M. Das, Professor Moni Banerjee and many others. From that day onwards, our association is working in all relevant fields in the line of our objectives set by those people in 1950, primarily for the growth and development of leather and its allied industry. This became possible as many of our dedicated members have given their wholehearted service throughout their lives in the last 7 decades. Today, we wish to start this celebration by remembering them all. Before we start, we express our deepest condolences for passing away of our ex-Chief Minister of West Bengal, Sri Buddhadev Bhattacharya. Our association has always received his enormous support in all sections of our activities, and we are able to have our own building today only because of him. Our association will always remain indebted to his contribution, and on behalf of our association, we attended his last journey and paid our homage in his last journey to the heaven. Today it gives us immense pleasure to have with us today Mr. Dr. Malathy Jawahar, the Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR-CLRI, and Scientist in Charge, RCED, Kolkata. Dr. E. Ravindranath, former Chief Scientist, CSIR-CLRI, and presently Consultant of Solidaridad. Dr. S. Rajamani, Vice President, ILTA, Southern Region, and our Senior Live Member. Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta, former Director, BIS, and Senior Live Member of ILTA. Other dignitaries from leather fraternity, students, faculties, academic institutes, our beloved members and their family to celebrate today's 74th Foundation celebration program. Now to start today's celebration program, I request the following dignitaries to come on the dais, please. Mr. Arnab, President, ILTA, please come on the dais. Dr. Malathy Jawahar, Honorable Speaker of today's memorial lecture. Dr. E. Ravindranath, former Chief Scientist, CSIR-CLRI, presently working as Consultant, Messrs. Solidaridad. Today's Honorable Speaker. Dr. S. Rajamani, Vice President, ILTA, Southern Region and Senior Member of ILTA. Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta, former Director, BIS and Senior Live Member of ILTA. First, we will honor the dignitaries on the dais with flower bouquet. And before that, we want to announce that we are going to felicitate two eminent personalities from leather industry. There is Dr. S. Rajamani and Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta for their lifetime contributions for this industry. I request all of you to give a clap for these achievements. So let's honor the honorary guest on the dais. I request Mr. Ashit Brown Kanango to present a flower bouquet to Dr. Malathy Jawahar, Honorable Speaker of the Day. Mr. Pradipta Konar, the Joint Secretary of Executive Committee of ILTA, please hand over the bouquet to Dr. E. Ravindranath. Pradipta Konar. Mr. Kaushik Bhuiya, the Treasurer of ILTA, to honor Dr. S. Rajamani. And Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, the Honorary Editor of our journal, ILTA. Gautam is here? Yeah, please, you come on the dais to honor Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta with the flower bouquet. Before we start the event, let's pay our homage to the portrait of late B.M. Das, our founder president. To start with, I would request our president, Mr. Arnab to pay a flower tribute to the portrait of Professor B.M. Das. ওখান থেকে দিয়ে দাও Dr. Malathy Jawahar, today's honorable speaker. Can you please go down and do it? No, niche hi karo. গৌতম ওটা ঘুরিয়ে দে অভিজিৎ ওটা ঘুরিয়ে দাও ঠিক ছিল ওটা ঠিক জায়গায় ছিল ডক্টর ই রবীন্দ্রনাথন ডক্টর সঞ্জয় চক্রবর্তী, the Principal, Government College of Engineering and Leather Technology. Mr. Tapan Nandi, the Chairman, Leather Goods Park. Mr. Shankar Da, ex-chairman of ILTA and our live member on behalf of the industry. Mr. Krishnendu Ghosh on behalf of CFTC Bhoj. Are you here, Krishnendu? Ratan Chaudhary from ILCPA, Indian Chemical Promotion Association. On behalf of Alumni Association, Government College of Engineering and Layer Technology, Amit or Abhijit or Jivanda, Dr. Satish on behalf of CLRI, CSIR, Amit on behalf of Alumni Association. Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta and Dr. S. Rajamani, please. So may I request our President, Mr. Arnab to welcome the participants of the today's event. Arnab, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Malathy Jawahar, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR-CLRI, CSIR-CLRI Regional Center in Kolkata, Dr. E. Ravindranath, former Chief Scientist of CSIR-CLRI and presently working as consultant to Messrs. Solidaridad, Dr. S. Rajamani, Vice President ILTA and Lab Member, Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta, former Deputy Director General, PIS and Senior Lab Member of ILTA, Mr. Susanta Mallick, General Secretary, ILTA, Executive Committee members, students, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. I feel myself privileged to be a part of the 74th year celebration of our Foundation Day of ILTA in Science City, Kolkata today, and on this occasion I welcome you all to join this important program. We celebrate this day by awarding the toppers of the educational institute in arena of leather science and technology in India, felicitating distinguished senior members and as a recognition to their contribution to the association and industry. A lecture in the memory of Professor B. M. Das, the founder of the association, is delivered on this day. This year, the said memorial lecture will be delivered by Dr. Malathy Jawahar, Senior Principal Assistant, CSIR-CLRI, titled Revolutionizing Leather Quality with AI-based Defects Detection and Intelligent Grading. Apart from this, an added lecture titled Advanced Wastewater Treatment Technologies for Recovery and Reuse of Water will be delivered by Dr. E. Ravindranath, Solidaridad. AI is comparatively new tools in the business management and hold remarkable space now. AI is the backbone of innovation in the modern computing, unlocking value for individuals and business. For example, optical character of recognition to extract text, data for images and documents, turns unstructured content into business ready, structured data and unlocked valuable insights. In supply chain optimization, AI can optimize supply chain of leather industry by accessing data on suppliers' performance, inventory level and customer demand using predictive analysis. AI can estimate demand, manage inventory and uncover the cost saving options, etc. Anyway, we are happy to have today with us Dr. Malathy and Dr. Ravindranath to deliver such informative lecture on contemporary subjects, and we extend our wholehearted thanks on behalf of ILTA to them to spare their valuable time with us. With this, I once again welcome you all to join us and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. So let us appreciate the achievements of few students in their different streams from different universities, which ILT is to do every year. So this year no exception. I would announce the name. please come on the dais to receive the award. Mr. Sudipto Shanki, the winner of Professor B.M. Das Memorial Medal for first class first in BTech Leather Technology exam of Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad University of Technology in 2024. I request our President Mr. Arnab to hand over the award to Mr. Shanki. Mr. Shanki, please. Again, Mr. Sudipto Shanki, the winner of Professor J.M. De Memorial Medal for first class first in BTech Leather Technology exam from Macau in 2024. I request our Vice President, Mr. Asit Baran Kanango, to come on the dais to hand over the award and the certificate. Mr. Desigan V, the winner of Professor B.M. Das Memorial Medal for first class first in BTech Leather Technology exam from Anna University, Chennai in 2023. Due to some emergency, Mr. Began is not able to attend today's function. So, we will be sending his medal and certificate by courier. Congratulations, Mr. Deshigan. Mr. Premjit Vishwas, the winner of Professor B.M. Das Memorial Medal for first class first in MTech Leather Technology exam from Macau in 2023. He is also not able to come today, so we will be sending his medal and certificate. Mr. J.S. Kandan S., the winner of Professor B.M. Das Memorial Medal for first class first in MTech Leather Technology exam of Anna University, Chennai in 2023. I request Dr. Rajamani to honor him with the award. Dr. Rajamani is our Vice President of Southern Region. Mr. Nicholas C., the winner of Professor B.M. Das Memorial Medal for first class first in MTech in Footwear Engineering and Management exam of Anna University, Chennai in 2023. I request Dr. Malathy and Dr. Ravindranath jointly honor this person with the award, please. And the last one, Dr. Dibyendu Vikas Dotto, the winner of J. Sinharai Memorial Award for his two articles titled Determinants of Consumer Buying Behavior, a study of footwear market in Kolkata, and influence of price, promotion, product quality, social factors and brand image on purchase decisions for dynamic leather footwear and accessories. Very long but very interesting topic. It is published in May and November 2023 issue of ILTA, and it is adjudged best article among the all articles published in ILTA by a committee consisting of Dr. Sanjoy Chakraborty, the Principal, Government College of Engineering and Technology, and Dr. Dipankar Chaudhary, he is a retired scientist and head of RCED CLRI, Kolkata. I request Dr. Sanjoy Chakraborty, the judge, to hand over the award to Dr. Dibyendu Vikas Datto. Please come on the dais, please. Before the memorial lecture, we have another section. Like many years, that ILTA felicitate some eminent personalities from the industry, from academic institutions, from government departments. And this year, the committee decided to felicitate two eminent personalities of the leather fraternity, mainly from science and technology section of the industry. One is Dr. S. Rajamani and another one is Dr. Sanjoy Dasgupta. Before we start the felicitation chapter, I would just read the, or I would request our Vice President Mr. Asit Kanangu to read the biodata, please. So first we are going for Dr. Rajamani.
Dr. S. Rajamani is a former director in charge of CSIR-CLRI Chennai. Dr. S. Rajamani is the only Indian elected as the president of IOE Commission of ILTCS and served for more than 20 years. He made the IOE Commission a dynamic one with participation of experts from all over the world, leather producing countries, and organized the IOE Commission meeting and was a part of the 8th Asian Congress in Kolkata, which we conducted by our association ILTA during 2010. Dr. S. Rajamani has been unanimously selected for the second time as the Vice President of ILTA from the Southern region, and as an international expert, delivered his suggestion memorial lecture twice. He is a doctorate in the field of leather and environmental engineering, gold medalist in Bachelor of Engineering degree, and first rank holder in Master's degree. He has published nearly 120 research publications and many patents, including improved chrome recovery and reuse system, which is a university used technology all over the world. He was the main architect in the development of ozone treatment for color removal, mixing the treated effluent with treated domestic water and discharged into receiving bodies, which is first of its kind in Asia. Dr. S. Rajamani is an United Nations Industrial Development Organization, that is UNIDO expert, with specialization in cleaner production, waste treatment and management in world leather sector, designed and implemented almost all the common effluent treatment plants, that is CTPs, including the Kolkata Leather Complex, that is CLC or KLC nowadays, proposed Mega Leather Complex MLC in Kanpur. He is the current chairman of Asian Development Commission, covering many leather producing countries including China, Japan, Africa, India, Taiwan, New Zealand, Russian Federation and European Union, UNIDO, etc. And next Asian Congress, as we know, ILTA will be organizing in 2026, and he is a part of the program as well. Dr. S. Rajamani has served for many major environmental protection programs and development of leather complexes with CTP in many countries, including CLC, Kolkata, got many awards such as Indo-Dutch Award under Ganga Action Plan for one of the biggest tannery cluster with CTP in the world, Technology Award for cleaner production, etc.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. So may I request President of ILTA and Vice President as well to honor Dr. Rajamani for his Lifetime Achievement Award from ILTA. May I request our Vice President, Mr. Asit Karango, to say a few words on Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta.
Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta is an eminent leather technologist and a senior life member of our association, that is Indian Leather Technology Association, Kolkata. He completed BSc Tech in Leather Technology from Kolkata University. After completing graduation in 1968, he went to undergo apprenticeship training from GI, that is Government of India, for 6 months. He started his professional career as a tanner in East India Chrome Tannery Private Limited from 1969 to 1972. In December 1972, he joined ISI, presently BIS, that is Indian Standard Institutions, name of which has been changed in 1986 under Parliamentary Act. He joined ISI as Assistant Director and finally superannuated on 31st May 2007 as Deputy Director General. For BIS, Mr. Dasgupta served in the Eastern region as well as the Western region, and at the time of his retirement, he was posted in Manak Bhavan, Delhi. Thank you.
I would request Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta to stand up and accept our felicitation award. So, and I request our President and 2 Vice President jointly hand over the felicitation award to Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta, please. I request both the personalities to whom we have felicitated today, if they want, they can speak few words on experience of today or on ILTA or whatever they feel. Dr. Rajamani.
Good afternoon. It's a great day. I should thank ILTA, particularly the former president Sanjoy Sen, who was instrumental. Actually, when I joined CLRI, I was not the member of ILTA, but he realized that I am one of the guy has joined in CLRI and the environment. Without even meeting me, then he recommended my name for the IUE commission of the IULTCS. So that is the beginning of my going into the international level, not only the development in CLRI. So then, of course, because of them, each and every time when he goes to IULTCS Congress, he used to take us like student, used to guide us how to deal with these IULTCS voting and all. At that time, you may be knowing, ILTA was the only first organization recognized by IULTCS in the world, not China and all. China came later, recently. So we are instrumental in making them to join there. So like that, always Kolkata, ILTA, after Beds Arnab, he was all the time, he's with me. And whenever we go to IULTS Congress or IUE Commission, he used to come. So he's a great man. He used to come all the way to Chennai, then we traveled together to Europe. So that's way really great, and because of you and your encouragement, and we could come and do the leather complex development with my colleagues Ravindranath and other people, and really great. And it is I'm very happy that you honored me and recognized me, and also you elected me second time unanimously as Vice President of ILTA. I will continue to help you, and we are going to have the Asian Congress in 2016. Next year also IULTCS, so they recognized ILTA and me as in the executive committee, and we have a lot of challenges. A lot of things should be go beyond leather making. That is a theme of the IULTCS, and hope you will all involve in the further research and cooperation. We will render all the support and help to you. Wish you all the best. Thanks.
Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta, do you like to say a few words?
Namaskar and good afternoon to all of you. Myself, I passed out in 1968 from College of Military Technology. That time the institution was in Kolkata. In that times we had a big tannery with peats and all that, and we had to work hard for the tanning section, lime yard, and also. So we had a very good glimpse on the tanning, finishing of leather and all that. Subsequently, the things have changed. As I learned, now the institution is in Kolkata, bypass, and the structure also has changed, to the best of my knowledge. However, I want to congratulate ILTA that they had been participating in the various national committees of PIS, namely the Leather Sectional Committee, Footwear Sectional Committee, Tanning Materials and Allied Products Sectional Committee, and also. And it is since long that the association with BIS and ILTA continues. It's a really heartening to think over that two organizations are closely bonded for the last so many years. And I hope that this will continue, and this should continue in the question of national interest with the leather industry, footwear industry, and others. ILTA also participated in the international activities of PIS and attended meetings contributed technically a lot. With this, I request all of you, the present students and others, to take a keen interest in the leather industry and footwear industry, to learn the subject. That is the most important part, to really learn the subject and contribute for the development and flourishing of the industry. It is very, very important. Just studying academically will not serve the purpose. It is very much necessary for particularly the students and the younger generation that they should come up to the expectation of the industry and the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanjoy. Thank you, Dr. Rajamani. So let us go to another session of our event today. That is one of the main program of today is the Professor B.M. Das Memorial Lecture. Let me introduce the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Malathy Jawahar. Dr. Malathy Jawahar is now a senior principal scientist and scientist in charge of Regional Center, Kolkata. She is Bachelor in Computer Science Engineering, Masters in Computer Science and Engineering. She has research work in artificial intelligence, computer vision, image processing, pattern matching, pattern recognition, deep learning, big data analysis, computer-aided color matching, application software development, etc. Dr. Malathy Jawahar has significant contributions are development of computer vision based automated solution for leather surface inspection and leather diagnosis software, color matching and quality control software. As a consultant of international consultancy project, her contribution includes design and development of tannin co-soft to manage ternary chemical house preparation of training, teaching and learning materials, quality management system, establishment in Leather Industry Development Institute, Ethiopia. Dr. Malathy Jawahar was instrumental to deploy tannin co-soft software in 11 Ethiopian tanneries, commercialize and transfer chicken feet leather process technology to the industry. She also handled externally funded R&D project from CSIR, DST and MITI. Her research outcomes are in the form of 70 international journal, conference publications, 3 copyright filed. She is a reviewer for various international peer-reviewed journals. Dr. Malathy Jawahar societal contributions include human resource development through teaching and guiding research and project students, training of trainer programs and management program for KH exports personnel. Dr. Malathy Jawahar was an invited speaker for INSHA seminar to deliver lecture on scientific and technological environment of women. She has also delivered many guest lectures, invited talks on deep learning, AI applications, data science and machine learning at various colleges and universities and industries. She is recipient of Outstanding Young Scientist Award 2012 by Asian International Conference on Leather Science and Technology, Taiwan, Best Paper Awards in IEEE Conference in December 2014 and December 2016. Best Award in 2022 at International Conference on Soft Computing and Machine Intelligence, Canada. And she has many more achievements. Now let us listen to her today on a very interesting subject, and which is also a new subject to the leather fraternity. I would invite Dr. Malathy Jawahar to start your lecture, please.
Very good afternoon to one and all. I thank ILTA for inviting me to deliver this Honorable Professor B.M. Das Memorial Lecture. Today, I start with a quote of Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity. What does it mean? Doing the same things again and again and expecting different outcomes. We in the leather industry look for improvement in quality and increase the production efficiency. Do we have the right tool for the leather inspection? So here, this is my talk today, revolutionizing the leather quality with AI-based defect detection and intelligent grading. So when we look at the leather processing, the defects, it occurs right from the when the animal is live, like we have ante-mortem, post-mortem defects. When the leather is being processed, during the processing, we have defects due to the error that we have when we do the process, due to the mechanical errors, and throughout the operations we find lot of defects in leather. So when we look at the current scenario, so we have very good assorters like leather experts who assorts the leather. We are very good as humans, very good in recognizing the defects. But when we do the same task over and over again, the same task from morning to evening, what will happen to us? We get bored, tired, and of course we miss the defects, like due to the attention. We will tend to lose our attention as we do the same task. This is where we have the automated solutions. So these automated solutions, what we are, I'm going to present, is not new actually, but if we look at other industries like steel, textile, these kind of automation systems are available for inspection. So why are these industries are adopting this kind of AI-based system? One is like when we look at the manual inspections, though we are the expert and we have the knowledge, we tend to become inaccurate when we do the same task. But when we have AI-based systems, it is because of the accuracy. You will find that it is more consistent. And when we have the human-based grading, we often end up with arguments between the buyer and the seller. We tend to have these kind of arguments going on. But when there is a system, this becomes very objective, and we have a very good platform to reduce these arguments between the buyer and the seller. So here in CSIR-CLRI, we have come up with a solution for coming up for a leather defect detection system. That is a paradigm shift from the manual grading to an automated grading, and a leather grading system. Apart from defect detection, we have a solution for leather grading as well as leather color sorting as well. So what is the system that we are recommending here is, one is the binary classification system, whether there is a defect or not. That is one system which we have developed here. Another one is a multi-class system where the system will try to identify what are the different types of defects that are present in the leather. So this is a system that we have developed. It is basically, we have a leather scanning table. Like when the leather is placed on the table, a camera moves over the leather surface and it will capture the leather image. Like each and every part of the leather is being scanned thoroughly and it is stored in the system. So here there are three components. One is the leather scanning table, another one is the camera which moves over the leather surface. We have the encoders and triggers which will trigger the camera to capture the image, and a software to do the leather defect detection. So this software is based on the AI model which will analyze each image that has been taken from the leather surface. So when we look at the various defects, how does an AI model recognize it? So when we, as human does, like how we differentiate between a normal leather and a defective portion is based on the texture. When we look at a very good leather image, it will have a smooth texture. But when it has a defect, the texture has a variance. Like for example, these are different images that I have shown where each defect has a different texture with which it varies. So this is the logic that the deep learning model also has. So here, like first what the model will do is, it will first try to identify whether the image is defect or defect free. So like how when a baby is born to the world, so the mother teaches, like the baby will have all the neurons in the brain, but the baby will not know to recognize an object. So the mother will teach, like showing the apple, this is the apple. So the child will try to learn that the apple looks like red color and it will have a smooth texture, and this is how the brains and the neurons get connected and get trained. Similarly here in this also, we have developed a AI model with which we have trained different sorts of leather images. Like we have a good leather image as well as a defective leather images, and we have labeled each defects into various categories of defects, and we trained this model so that it will try to learn between differentiating between a good leather and a defective leather. And then when it is a defective, then we also trained what type of defect that particular leather has. This is how the model works. So here the first part is the most important part. Here is the image acquisition, and using the camera we have we have a leather scan table which is a vacuum suction table, so that it holds the leather without any wrinkles, and then this camera will move over the leather. The leather is a stationary one, it is stagnant, and the camera will move dynamically over the leather to capture the entire surface. And while it is moving, it will divide the entire leather images into small leather sections actually. So once the image is acquired, parallelly we have the model running in the system which will analyze each segment of the image that has been captured to find whether it is a defect or non-defective one. And then it marks the particular image as defect or defect free. So once it marks that it is defect free, that will go in one area, and the defective images will be taken by the multi-class model, where it will be again with the trained model, it will try to identify what is the particular defect that has been trained, and it will classify that particular defective image to a particular defect. Like it can be a hole, it can be a scratch mark, it can be a bacterial image defect. Like we have a set of defects that has been created. Here when this entire system is programmed by us, so based on the necessity, like if a tanner has a defect library, then accordingly we can develop the database so that the defects can be trained accordingly to the data set with the defects what the tanner is having. So the most important part in this model is to calculate the usable area. For example, when we want to do a grading, the most important here is to identify what is the usable area of the leather. So what we did is, like, once we scanned the entire images and then we identified the number of defects. So we know how many number of images are there in the entire leather. So number of defect free divided by the total number of images will give us the usable area. This is the important thing that we did for defect identification. The next important thing what we did is the leather grading. So we know that when we look at the whole leather, we have different regions. So each region will play a vital role when it happens to the sellability of the leather. So when we have a defect in the main butt region, even if it is a very small defect, that matters a lot. Like the weightage of that particular defect in that region is more important than the same defect or a bigger defect which is in the neck. So we went for a weighted average kind of rule that has been established as a ISO grading rule, which we followed. So here, as indicated here, the entire leather images were scanned and each image were stitched together to get the entire leather surface image, and then based on the identified defects and the location of the defect, we found what will be the weightage of that defect, and we calculated how much we have to give weightage for that defect, and based on the usable area and the type of defect, the grading algorithm has been computed. And another important aspect is, as we have captured each leather image, we also computed the color of that particular image. For example, we computed in terms of LCH coordinates, that is the lightness, chroma and the hue. So for each image, we know what is the color of that particular image. So we computed whether there is any color difference within the leather surface, that we call it as intra-color difference. As well as, like, if we have around 100 leathers, then for the entire 100 leathers also we know what is the overall color of that entire leather image. So we also computed what is called as inter-color differences also in terms of the delta E. So all these parameters are objective, and these are the parameters that we have displayed, like how many number of images are there in that particular leather. Out of that, how many number of images are defective and how many number of images are defect free, and what is the area of the defective portion and what is the area of the non-defective leather. So all these informations can be very easily tabulated and can be given with a barcode, QR code also, which can be easily printed behind the leather. So this is the software that we have developed in CSIR-CLRI. So that is called as leather gate system. Here the software will do the automatic leather identification as well as the classification of the defects. It does the leather color identification and its distribution within the leather as well as between the leathers. It also does the area measurement, because we know for each cell what is the area that the image has been captured, and based on the grading rules we graded the leather as well, and we will be able to do like the entire digitization of the leather as well for visualization, as well as the summary of the entire leather can be given in terms of its square feet, area, color, etc. With a QR code. So the major benefits of leather grade system is like there is a objective standardization for the leather inspection, and this leather grade system has multiple leather parameters, like you can have the defect location map, you can have the area, you can have the color coordinates, and all these things can be given as a parameter for the leather. And it also avoids the tedious grading. As I told, as humans, when we do the same task, it becomes more tedious and we tend to lose attention and miss the defects. So this can be avoided when we use automatic leather grading system. And the digital marking of the defects, like as I've shown in the previous slide, the areas where the defect are present can be marked digitally on the entire leather surface. And the software is very user friendly and it is customizable according to the needs. Like for example, based on the tanner's requirement, we can make the defect library with which they can work with, that is more easy to work. And so here I am representing CSIR-CLRI with the technology ready for leather inspection and defect detection as well as grading. So I leave the forum for any questions to be given to me. This is a small demonstrations that we have done with many industries. They have come and inspected our system, and these are some of the photographs of our demonstrations, what we have done with the industries.
Hello, good afternoon. This scanning or the selection of the leather, this is only for the finished leather, or it can be applied to the raw materials, raw hide or the wet blue, or the pelt, where we are doing different type of leather. This is number one. Number two, if anybody wants to get this software, what is the procedure and what is the cost?
Actually, we have done it for the finished leather, sir. This model is, we have trained it for finished leather. We can do it for wet blue as well. As like wet blue has a moisture in the leather, so the acquisition of the image will be little different. We are now working on for a model wherein we don't need to have a leather scan table. We can just have an area, because all the tanners will have an area measuring machine. So we are now working on a model wherein just the camera and the lighting setup can be built over the area measuring machine, so that it can be able to capture the leather images. Actually, when we were working on the industrial demonstration, one of the feedback from the tanners is like now currently what the table what we are using is a XY table, which takes approximately 1.68 or 78 minutes to scan the table. I mean scan the entire leather surface. So one of the requirement what they asked us to is to reduce the time that is taken for scanning. So we are working on it actually. Once we are ready with the improvised version, we will be able to deliver it as a thing. As of now, the scanning time for to scan the leather and to the AI model to identify the defects, everything will be running in parallel. But most of the tanners, they ask to reduce the scanning time. That is one of the things that we are working on, and hence I am not now here to tell the cost of the system as of now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam, thank you very much for your very enlightening lecture. In fact, are you continuing your this process for any more types of pelt? That means hides and skins in the processing stage. Are you still now continuing this defect gradation for the hides and skins at any stage of process? No.
One is like, as I told, one model what we are working on is the finished leather with a different imaging setup, sir, so that it will reduce the scanning time. Another one, like we are also trying to explore it for a wet blue.
Exactly, I could not make it clear. What is the relation between the tanning time with this one?
Currently, no sir, we are having 1.78 I think seconds to scan the one goat leather. So we are working to reduce it by 45 seconds.
Oh,
Yes,
Acha, nice. Nice, thank you, madam.
thank you sir.
Yeah, good evening. I have a question. It's a different kind of question because since it's a leather grade demonstration, but few things, without touching the leather, like maybe the scanning cannot identify, like for the color fastness, that I'm sure with the scanning you cannot identify what, because you have mentioned that, like similar, same lot of leather, different kind of color variations are there. But that can be managed, but I'm sure the fastness you cannot manage in this system.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, and also you cannot manage the looseness and other things on the surface of the leather, the feel, touch, and other things, which that AI cannot identify. Do you think of those lines, or something like that, like?
Actually, now the electronic systems are coming up with a smart tongue, they say, even for vegetables, to find whether the mango is ripe enough or not. So that kind of sensors are coming in. With regard to feel and touch, for leather, there's nothing that we can do. It is only a visual surface inspection, sir. That is one thing. With regard to the color, as you told, the color fastness means you need to do a fastness testing, like you need to have before or with rub and without rub, and then we have to measure the color difference. And actually those kind of color fastness testing can be done, like with and without rubbing, that portions can be taken and image analysis can be done with the difference in color. Yes, we can do. Current system is to identify color difference between within the leather surface and across the leather.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, good evening. Very fantastic gradation, so that we have stepped into the era of the AI. So naturally the one thing is that the conciliation and the reconciliation between the thoughts of the buyers as well as the sellers, that you have just projected out, that two lobes of the brains have to be in synergical positions over there. So the system which I will be using for selling, and the gradation and the benchmarks adopted by me, by the sellers, have to be adopted by the buyers also.
Exactly.
So there has to be a consortium which will be just adopting the same platform for the uniform, either pan-India, for the regionalization, or for the globalization, whatever you say, ma'am. So there has to be a concurrence between all the systems, that I accept this system, I also accept this system, so the system is very similar. Is there is kind of any movement on this part on behalf of the ILTC, as Rajamani sir is also there? So if there is any part, so that AI simulated system can also be taken as a granted across the world, so that the seller and the buyer come on the same platform or the same wavelength of thoughts, so that everything can be done.
Currently, SATRA is the one who certifies even as a human assorter to do a sorting actually. Every year they evaluate the persons whom they have trained and they certify them. And there is a lot of money that has been spent by the industry to have the certified professionals. So in fact, we have a thought, once we develop this kind of missions, it can be certified by SATRA, so it can be worldwidely accepted. That is one thing from my end, I was looking for, when it has to go for a universal acceptance. This all are industrial grade cameras and setups, sir. It will not have any issues with an industrial environment. So those parameters have been taken into consideration, and all our cameras and lighting systems are of industrial grade. Yes, yes. It's very hefty mission. You need to come to CLRI to have the system.
All we know that it is very difficult to find out the defects in EI crust for further processing. But this system can help the practical trainers for the selection of EI gradation.
Yes, sir. Actually, currently we have worked on the finished leather. We can do it the same model for any type of crust leather, EI, wet blue, any type we can do. Only thing is we have to do the training of the model. Like we need to generate the defects and we need to train the model. Then it is possible for any type of leather to be used. I say the database is like a heart. The model is like your brain. So both needs to have to be developed for the system to work perfectly.
Understood.
Region for the particular species, sheep of this region have got this particular genetic mapping. So that kind of a genetic mapping, if it can be simulated beforehand into this EI system, and along with the physical gradation, what is being observed by the camera and the feedback what has been put in the behind, that is getting matched along with the data. Similarly, if the genetic mapping also, if it is there, then we can have the ready idea that what kind of a species it is and what kind it should give, apart from the stray cases of the behavioral discrepancies, that is a different issue. But generalizations of those kind of a behavioral approach by the DNA mapping, that also can be incorporated if you can do this, so that we can just soar into the supermodel.
Yes, sir. Indeed, one of my other project is leather species identification based on microscopic imaging. Actually, that is a different thing which I have also worked, and region-wise species also we can do it. As I told, only the database needs to be developed for which there needs to be a large collection of database. It is possible, sir. We can use not this image but a microscopic imaging which we can do, and I have also worked in species identification based on the hair pattern. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
I request our General Secretary, Sri Susanta Mallick, to come on the dais and go for next proceedings.
May I request Dr. Malathy to come on the dais, please. We want to present you the memento, shawl and citation. May I request Mr. Shankar Da and Mr. Tapan Nandit to come on the dais, please. The two eminent industrialists, one is from leather goods, another is from leather goods and tannery. So please join me to honor Dr. Malathy. Now we are going for the second lecture of today. I request our Joint Secretary, Mr. Pradipta Kunar, to introduce the Honorable Speaker of the day, Mr. Ravindranath. Mr. Kunar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Susanta Mallick. And really, I am feeling honored to introduce Dr. Ravindranath, as because, sir, I am a very much admirer of your work. So, telling about Dr. Ravi, I should say Dr. Ravi, because we used to say it like that. There's a lots of in his credential,
started with BTech in Civil Engineering from College of Engineering, Kakinada, Hyderabad. ME in Public Health Engineering from College of Engineering, University of Madras. MS in Civil Engineering from South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, USA. PhD in Civil Engineering, specialization in Environmental Engineering from Anna University, Chennai. And he has a long working time. He worked with Central Leather Research Institute for 28 long years. From there, after retiring, he has done many things, and presently he is working with an international civil society, Solidaridad, as a senior consultant from 2018. If you can say about the major project handled by Dr. Ravi, he was the project leader and team member of a preparation of detailed project report for establishment of common effluent treatment plants in Kanpur, Kolkata, Jalandhar, and in Tamil Nadu. He handled classes for UG and PG students in Anna University for about 5 years. After retirement from there, 3 years he worked as a professor in Civil Engineering Department of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering in Chennai from 2015 to 2018. From 2018 to 2023, he worked as a technical director in special purpose vehicle, and he was the responsible for upgradation of CTP with zero liquid discharge in Tamil Nadu in tune of 200 crores. Designed pre-treatment plant system for more than 100 tanneries in Kolkata and Jalandhar. Designed primary treatment system for tanneries for Kanpur cluster. Submitted primary treatment system design for Uttar Pradesh Pollution Control Board, which was later recommended for implementation as a consultant of Solidaridad. Carried out survey for quantifying the solid waste and liquid waste generated from individual tanneries in Tamil Nadu leather cluster. Telling about his publication and journals, he has published national papers, 6 national paper and 4 international paper. He represented in 42 national conference and 31 international conference. And lastly, if I can say, the membership he is having, life member of Indian Water Works Association, life member of Indian Environmental Association, fellow of Institute of Engineers in India, member of Institute of Public Health and Engineers, life member of Indian Concrete Institute, member of Indian Association of Environmental Management. So there's a long year. Sir, I feel honored to introduce you, and I'm requesting you to deliver your lecture. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Pradipto, for introducing me. And I am really happy to see my boss, Dr. Rajamani, is also here, with whom I have worked for more than 20 years, I think. And I learned a lot from him. Thank you, sir. And also for the ILTA for giving this opportunity. My subject is not as exciting as identifying the defects. Here, this is advanced wastewater technologies for recovery and reuse of water. Okay, this is a general. I am not talking about any specific wastewater. This is general. And Kolkata people must be wondering why we should reuse the water. Because in 93, 94, I used to visit Kolkata very often on official work. And one day I was passing through, I saw a tap, water was continuously flowing. I thought, oh, somebody has stolen the tap. Then after a few meters, I again saw another tap, only there is no spout, water was flowing through the pipe. Then I asked somebody, what is this, why they don't have any spout here? That is spout means tap, to where you can close and open. I was told, sir, it is not required, sir, I got a oogly here. Really? Then I wanted to see Googly, then I realized that they got a lot of water, they don't have any problem at all. In Chennai, if somebody even hears water trickling, tick at 12 o'clock in the night, we get up and then close the water because we know how precious water is. Okay, this is about how much of water is on earth. You may have oceans of water, but you cannot use it. Only 2.5% is the fresh water. Out of that, you know that because of the climate change, glaciers are slowly disappearing. You will not have any ice caps at least another 20 or 30 years. That is what the climate change is telling. Unless you stop or reduce the carbon dioxide emission to certain level. You have to keep it, but that is not happening. Even USA, which is using hell a lot of carbon dioxide equivalent, is telling that there is no climate change. There is no climate change because of carbon dioxide. The president, former president himself told. And what is water required is 135 liters per day per person. So imagine that what is the Kolkata population and multiplied by 1.53 liters, then you will find that what is the huge amount of water that is required. And Chennai is required around 1,000 million liters of water per day. We don't have that much of water. And our population is also going on increasing. And do you think that it is required only for India that you have to reuse the water? There, somebody I want you to answer that white shirt on the last. Can you tell me why we should? Yeah, you only. Can you tell me, anybody there, that is it only India should reuse the water? Anyone? Answer is there. Why don't you read it? Okay, no, because you can see that even the most advanced country like USA, they are reusing the water. And when I say reusing, what I mean is the sewage is taken and it is treated to certain extent depending on where you want to use it. And the new water, this is a typical example you can. Singapore is a very, very small country. Okay. This Singapore is almost Kolkata, a little bit bigger than Kolkata. They don't have much rain also. What they are doing is they are buying water from Malaysia, sewage, sorry, not water, sewage, and then treating it and bottling it as a potable water. Okay, I will ask some questions, I request you to answer. I was told that you are all students, is that right? Then you should interact with me. This is the technology of new water in Singapore. Okay. You know that how much of pollutants are there in water? Let us say sewage or tannery wastewater, the percentage of pollutant. Can anyone guess? How much of pollution is there? 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%? Okay, I will give you a clue, it is less than 10%. Anyone? It is only 1%. It is only 1%. Whatever water we are using it, the pollutant that is coming out is only 1%. The remaining 99% is pure water. We have to remove only 1%. And to remove this 1%, we are having primary treatment, secondary treatment and tertiary treatment. What it really means is that suppose I want to make some item. Let us say I want to say upma, or I want to have some rice. What I do, I take a paddy, then I remove all those, whatever that paddy, whatever I don't want, I remove it. First we remove the husk, then I come to take the paddy, take it to a mill, remove the, see, if you are not interested, you can please go. You are distracting me. If you are not interested, you can go. I don't mind. You only. So you require primary treatment, and then what you take it, you bring it to your home, then you wash it. Okay, this is all pre-treatment or primary treatment. You wash it. Then you measure what is the quantity of water that is required, and then you cook it. This is the secondary treatment. And then tertiary treatment is, then you mix it with some sambar or chutney or make biryani out of it. This is what is the second tertiary treatment, so that you get a good dish. In wastewater also, we do the same thing. What we do is, we remove the organics and inorganics. First we have to separate it. And then we separate the solids from liquid. These are the things that we do before we treat it. Just like what we are doing in our cooking. And before that, pre-treatment. Pre-treatment is something that, like in our wash basin, we have grills, so that no solids go into the wastewater. And then you go to a kitchen, you have got a grill. And even in Western countries, if you go, they have a grinder below the wash basin, so that everything is grinded and it is liquefied and then send it. This is what is called as a pre-treatment. In wastewater terms, that you go to any sewage treatment plant, you see that there are floating matter. Floating matter means that it can be a paper, or it can be a plastic, or it can be some hide pieces, or anything that is, these things we have. For this we require a screen. Okay, you remove a screen, using that you screen it. Then liquid solid separator, that is whichever can be settled and which can be separated by simple gravity settler, that is called gravity settlers, simple settlement. Then the major thing is organics and inorganics. What is the difference between organic and inorganic is, if you eat organics only, you will get energy. We are also daily eating something or other. That is, any food that you take is organics, and it is converted into carbon dioxide and water, and we also get energy out of it. This is the same principle that we use in the treatment of wastewater. There, instead of human beings, there are bacteria. These bacteria are being fed with the waste which is coming from. It can be a sewage or it can be from tannery wastewater. We are feeding the bacteria. Then bacteria also, like us, like human beings, it has to breathe. They require oxygen. So we supply oxygen to them. And we require nutrients. They also require nutrients. The major nutrient is nitrogen and phosphate. They also require it. But like we are also segregating solids, liquids, then organic. Inorganics, we will not get energy. You cannot eat iron or steel and then get energy out of it. Okay, so this is the same thing we are doing in the wastewater treatment. So here we are removing the floating matter, what we call it screen. You can have any kind of screen, doesn't matter. It can be a circular one or just a rod, piece of rods that is attached on, which is on the left side. So you are trying to remove the solids initially. Then after removing the solids, that is floating matter, then you take it to equalization, equalized flow. You want to have, what is equalization tank is, the purpose is, like you cannot have 40 chapatis today and then you say that I want to starve for 8 days. You cannot do that. You have to have a uniform diet. Daily you should have, maybe one day you can have a little bit more and digest it, but daily you cannot have 40 and then one day 10 and then 40 chapatis, you cannot eat it. So similarly here, bacteria also, you cannot feed one day higher or next day nothing. So therefore, they should be fed uniform diet. For that, you require an equalization tank. So what I do is concentrated water, that is concentrated water means organics. More organics, less organics. For example, in the morning, toilet waste will have more organics. In the evening, only not much of water will not have that much concentration of organic matter. So what we do is we bring morning and evening and mix it everything and then you feed to the bacteria at the uniform rate. For that we require an equalization tank. Then this is the separator. You can settle gravity settler, whichever is settleable that will settle. If you want add more, then you can have coagulants and flocculants like alum and lime. Then you can remove the suspended solids. So when I get the wastewater supernatant from any primary settling tank, what I need is that I want a clear water which is free from suspended solids, settleable solids. I don't want, only because dissolved organics only will be addressed in any sewage treatment plant. After primary treatment, relatively, you cannot, of course, you cannot 100% you can remove it. 80% of the solids, it may be suspended solids or floating matter, but not dissolved solids, because dissolved solids I cannot remove in the primary treatment. Dissolved solids means when I say that any organic matter dissolved, like you boil everything and you take it out, like even dal, you boil it and then you throw it in the kitchen sink. Waste material, all those things are in dissolved form. Sodium chloride is dissolved form. Sulfate, of course, they are all inorganics. Like organics also, you will have dissolved form. So in the secondary treatment, you are going to deal only with organics. That is, which can be digested by the bacteria, like human beings. We also take organics, convert into carbon dioxide and water. So that is what we are doing here. For that we supply oxygen. And of course there is anaerobic system is also there in the absence of oxygen, but they are also oxidation system only. And after once the organics are converted into carbon dioxide and water, if you want to reuse the water, then we have to go for tertiary treatment. What tertiary treatment means? That there are very little organic matter, or maybe there may be some little suspended solids, because when you want to convert into potable water, or you want to reuse it for washing machines, or you want to use it in dishwashers, or you want to use it as a toilet flush water, it should be free from all these things. It should also look like a clear water. It is contaminated. There will be some bacterial contaminant in that. We have to remove that one. That is what is a tertiary treatment. Okay, these are all the oxidation system where we remove the organic matter, convert the organic matter into carbon dioxide water. This is a trickling system. Okay, trickling system is a typical example of a trickling system is that in South India, I'm not sure about in Bengal and all. In South India, what happens is you go to a marriage hall, there will be a chairs like this, they put banana leaf and then they serve you dinner. Okay, so it is like this. Now, and the bacteria are all attached on that stones or whatever you are having, media, what we call it as media, and then from the top we serve the food for the bacteria. As the food available, they will do it, because in the banana leaf you say that suddenly you find that there is some sweet as exhausted, you will not get next plane, will not get exhausted, will not get sweet. So similarly here also, Some bacteria will get food, some bacteria will not get food. But to ensure that all the organic matter is dissolved, we pump it back into the system, we circulate it. So this is kind of what we call it a fixed system. So all the guests are sitting, only food is coming. This is activated sludge process. It is slightly in higher. That is, if you go to any 5-star hotel, then probably what they do is, everybody will have a plate, we will be going around talking with people, and then server will come there, then you will take, sir, you want samosa, you want chicken, or you want this one, you will be, every food is also circulating, guests are also circulating. Here, similarly, bacteria is also in circulation, food is also in circulation, so we call it as a activated sludge process or complete mixed system. Food and bacteria, everything is mixing. This is a slightly advanced. So that is what this is. This is slightly advanced. Here we are using membrane to remove the bacteria and get clear water out of it. Okay, here depending on membrane size, either it can be microns or micro, you will get clear water. This is a sequential biological reactor where you have a reactor. The solids are digested into carbon dioxide and water, then you settle or remove the bacteria, and the bacteria is again put back into the wastewater so that it will convert it into carbon dioxide and water. Rapid sand filtration, it is to remove the suspended solids. Very fine suspended solids you can remove. If you use activated carbon, you may also remove some of the inorganics. And the last one is that membrane technology. That is here, this normally we use it so that you get a drinking water out of the sewage. Reverse osmosis pore size is so small that you have to remove as much as possible both molecules, that is when you say sulfate, you cannot remove, you have to remove calcium, you have to remove magnesium. So you cannot remove everything on a reverse osmosis because everything will get obstructed. Fouling. Fouling means that further no water will pass through the membrane. So for that, like you are using a tea filter, if you don't clean the clean filter and keep on using it, what will happen? All these pores will be obstructed and you cannot further filter it. So what you have to do is then, you should have a microfiltration, ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, then only you have to go for RO. What it really means is that the pore sizes are slowly being reduced from micro to RO. See, this is the standard. If you want to have a RO system to recover the water, this is the standard that is expected. You can see that BOD should be almost less than 1 nil. COD also less than 10. Because COD to be, if you go to any STP, they will say COD should be 250 milligram per liter. So here it is expected that it should be 10. Turbidity should be 1. Turbidity 1 means that it is almost, it is like this water. So this to standard, to reach this standard only, we have got microfiltration, ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, etc. So once you pass through that, you should, to meet these standards, you have got a reactive clarifier and ultrafiltration. You can see that it is 1 micron. 1 micron is 1 millionth of a meter. And the next one is reverse osmosis, has got a so small that it will allow only the water molecule to pass through. Of course, the major constraint is that after passing through all these things, you get a reject. Reject is that all the pollutants, calcium, magnesium, sulfate, all those things will not, whichever has not passed through the reverse osmosis will come out. That you have to evaporate it. And once you evaporate it, you end up with salt. Of course, salt, you have to deal with it. See, this is the multiple effect evaporator. This is one of the CETPs in Tamil Nadu, you have it. So this is only to deal with the reject. And of course, because it is a very highly energy intensive, now they have gone for solar plants. This is one of the CETPs having a solar plant so that their operation cost can be brought down. This is ultrafiltration in one of the common effluent treatment plant where they are treating the wastewater to zero liquid discharge standard. And that's all I have. Thank you.
I request General Secretary Mr. Mallick to honor Dr. Ravindranath with the memento and propose vote of thanks.
Dr. Ravindranath, please. We are at the end of today's first session of our Foundation Day celebration. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Malathy, Jawahar, the Honorable Speaker of Professor B.M. Das Memorial Lecture, which was very informative, as AI is now everywhere in our life. We have no other option but to accept it and use it for our growth and sustainability in this highly competitive world. We would like to thank also Dr. E. Ravindranath for delivering another lecture on wastewater treatment technologies, which was also very much interesting and useful. We request both the honorable speakers to provide us the soft copy of your lectures of today so that we can publish in our journal, technical journal, which we publish every month, and for the benefit of the people who could not attend today. We would like to offer our sincere thanks to Dr. S. Rajamani, Mr. Sanjoy Dasgupta for their immense contribution for the growth of leather industry on science and technology and standards. Our association is proud to have both as a live member and extremely happy to felicitate both of you today. Whoever is not able to be present today, they can see this event in YouTube of ILTA and in our website. We would like to congratulate the award winners for their achievements. Our association wishes them a bright future ahead. Our association is now working in various fields, mainly in science and technology, in collaboration with different associations and academic institutions. We are also working for the health issues for our members and associates with Narayana group of hospitals so that members can get priority treatment at discounted charges. We have already signed a MOU with the Narayana Health Hospitals. We have also signed a MOU with Kolkata Management Association for organizing seminars on management and economics, and also for organizing visiting lectures in our academic institutions like GCLT or any other institutions in and around West Bengal. Also, we are working on digitization of our publications. Our all publications will be digitized in near future for easy access of all members. Our association has always tried to involve all other associations, academic and research institutes, NGOs, state and central governments, concerned departments, the leather industry as a whole in all its major activities, and we always receive their active participation. Our association is thankful to all of them. On this momentous occasion, once again we wish to remember those dedicated members who are the pillars for the successful journey of our association. Our sincere thanks to Science City, Kolkata for extending necessary help and cooperation. Thanks to our members, students, guests for their presence today. Thank you very much. We now invite all of you to the high tea in the dining hall at the ground floor of this hall. Thank you very much.